let's talk about skinny jabs. They're having a bit of a moment, and let's be honest, everyone's talking about them.
They've completely changed my life. They've transformed my diet, my exercise, my motivation.
And if you are buying them privately, you know the price has gone up.
I worry about the people who should be on them and who can't afford them.
But they do come with potential risks.
The first attack I had, I didn't know what it was. I'd never felt pain like it.
So could they be the answer to tackling obesity? Or could they be causing more problems in the future?
People want help ASAP. These are going to change their futures and their health, but we've got a tsunami coming.
We investigate the so-called skinny jab. Are they a weight loss miracle?
It's that time of year when temptation is everywhere, and we all tend to overindulge a little more than we should.
And who doesn't love a mince pie and a chocolate? 1, 2, 3, 4.
In fact, the average Brit has around 6,000 calories on Christmas Day alone. But this feast fest could be about to change, as more and more people turn to so-called skinny jabs. And these injections are big news because we're in serious trouble when it comes to weight. Ebbw Vale in Blaenau Gwent has the highest number of adults who are overweight or obese in Wales. And trying to access weight loss services here can take years. So, no surprise then that skinny jabs are a big talking point.
Have you heard of these skinny jabs, weight loss jabs?
Yes.
What do you think of them?
I would be very much, afraid.
Afraid?
Of course I would, because you look after your body and if you can't cut down, so...
Is it cheating to inject yourself with stuff like that?
It didn't cheat, no, of course it doesn't.
I do.
You think it's a bit of cheating?
Yeah.
Good idea, bad idea?
Bad.
Why is that?
Just get on a diet.
If it cures obesity, then fantastic. There are people around that can't lose weight. They try all different diets. And if this works for them, then great.
I think under supervision with a doctor, that's the only way I think they should be given out.
There's someone young. Do you know anything about these? Do you think about these weight jabs?
Yeah, I've taken them. I was on them for probably close to 10 months.
You've been on them?
Yeah.
Can I chat to you?
Yeah, of course you can.
Right, come in here. Thank you. Ooh, there we are.
Weight went from 22 stone down to 14, 10.
Wow.
15 stone in 10, 12 months.
And you come off them?
I come off them in January this year. I just can't afford to keep taking them because the prices are just going up and up and up. If I could afford to go on them, I'd go back on them tomorrow. No questions asked. Just because of what it was able to do for my mental health, as well as my weight.
And you went private to take it then?
Yeah, so I'm private with them. I've been on the waiting list with the NHS for the weight management for 7 years now. And
you're on the waiting list for 7 years?
Been on the waiting list for 7 years.
In fact, an Iron Bevan University Health Board say they've experienced a significant increase in demand for weight management referrals, and they've had to temporarily suspend new ones. But they say urgent cases will be accepted.
So this is clearly a talking point here in Ebbw Vale, but are these jabs just another form of cheating? And if we want to lose the weight, should we do it the old-fashioned way?
Yes, I'm talking about going to the gym. It's definitely a good place to start, but it can take weeks or even months to see results.
Now, if you've been watching the TV recently, you may have thought, I've lost a bit of weight, and you'd be right. I am going to the gym, but I am also on the jabs, and I have been for about 2 months before we started this programme. And I have to admit, They are working.
I'm using Monjaro. I buy it privately online with approval from my GP. They arrive in the post and I keep them in the fridge.
So this is how it works. You have a pen and then you have to quickly give it a wipe to ensure it's all clean. And then you have to do the important thing, which is to insert the needle. Now, this is the bit that people get wary of, particularly me when I first heard how to inject this into myself. But the needle is very small and you quickly attach it. And then you would unscrew this to the said 1 as a 1 dose. This is not a full pen, so this is purely for illustration. But then I would stick this into my thigh or my stomach and inject. And that will be it for a week. My appetite goes down and hopefully lose a bit of weight.
And whilst it's nice to see the weight drop, one question everyone asks me is, are they safe? What about the risks, Rob? And the long-term impacts?
63% of adults are overweight or obese. So in Wales, you're in the minority if you're a healthy weight.
Sinead Quirk is a lead dietitian in Wales and very aware of the pros and cons of these injections.
How do they work?
They're basically appetite suppressants. So the hormone, GLP-1, actually makes you feel less hungry. And if you feel less hungry, you're going to eat less. So it's basically less calories entering your body, and that's how you're losing the weight.
How do you feel generally about these jabs? Are they a game changer?
Absolutely. I've been working with people with obesity for over 25 years, and this is the breakthrough we've been looking for to really help our patients. But unfortunately, it's not quite working out as we wanted to, because we didn't foresee the private market being this big and people taking the medications without proper advice.
And there are some risks that won't be obvious straight away.
America are a bit ahead of the curve with research on the long-term effects of using weight loss medications. And what they've found is there's a condition that can develop very quickly and with a lot of people called sarcopenic obesity. That means that you are losing a very high percentage of muscle mass. Therefore, you're more at risk of chronic conditions. Plus, you become weak and frail because their muscle mass has been so wasted by losing weight using the jabs. So our body composition is made up of several things. The two main factors that we're concerned with in terms of weight loss medication is fat and muscle mass. So as we see the scales go down, we can't tell if it's fat mass that we're losing or if it's muscle mass that we're losing.
You jump on the scales and you see it going down, you go, yay! Mm-hmm. But it may not be the right thing we're losing.
That's right. So we need to take measures to make sure that while we're losing weight, that we're losing fat weight more than muscle weight.
How do we do that?
Two main things. Number one is we have to do resistance training, so weight exercises. Number two is we have to prioritise protein in our diet. So protein is things like meat, fish, pulses, lentils, and vegetarian alternatives.
So while we're trying to tackle a big problem, namely obesity, we may be stoking up another problem here.
Absolutely. What we see in the NHS is if people are buying it privately and they're not doing their research or they're not purchasing wraparound care where they might see a dietitian, then they're taking the jabs, seeing the weight loss, thinking, goodness, these are working, this is brilliant, this is what I want, but not realising the effect it's actually having on their body. What we're seeing is patients are coming into A&E with things like pancreatitis. Now, that isn't actually to do with the drug itself, it's to do with the rapid weight loss that happens. The sarcopenic obesity will take a couple of years to really hit the NHS. But actually, the way in which we provide services for people who are taking the medication has to change because we can't carry on like this.
The Welsh Government says it is developing a new model to offer patients wraparound support to help and sustain weight loss. Wendy from Cardiff is already a year into using these jabs, and she's trying to do it alongside better lifestyle choices. She buys them privately online and has lost around 6 stone so far.
Wendy, what are we making?
Halloumi wraps.
Lovely, my favourite.
Before, I would probably had a big baguette or a jacket potato with a packet of crisps, a yoghurt, a chocolate bar maybe.
That rings true. I'd eat all them in one go. So if you could describe your jab journey in a sentence, what would you say?
They've completely changed my life. They've transformed my diet, my exercise, my motivation.
You're a new person.
Complete new person with a whole new wardrobe to go with it.
Her weight loss has given her the confidence to run for the first time. And this year, she's even completed her first half marathon.
My running journey has just been phenomenal. And that's all down to, I would say, definitely losing the weight, which has given me more confidence to go out and do the exercise that I want to do. And also for my children, for them to see what I'm doing, you know, being a really good role model, which makes me really proud.
But the rising cost of these injections means she's struggling to afford to stay on them much longer. In September this year, the price shot up, with some now paying over £300 for a month's supply.
After Christmas, I can't afford my January dose. This worries me, it concerns me. Then I'm not going to be able to continue this journey because I've still got more weight to lose.
So what happens when you can't afford these skinny jabs? And what happens when you come off them? We're at the point where most of us know someone on so-called skinny jabs, whether they choose to admit it or not.
Wow. Look how much she's lost. So there's clearly a big thing on social media to show off your weight loss jab journey. Incredibly popular. I mean, this video here has had 12,000 likes. Another one, 9,000 likes, 10,000 likes. It's the topic everyone's talking about.
Oh my God, I had to leave the restaurant.
But it's not plain sailing for everyone on them. Some people say they suffer with side effects.
So I have been awake since about 3 o'clock this morning with the worst bad stomach ever.
This is Lucy Davis from the Rhondda. She's lost 6.5 stone in a year, but she says she's felt nauseous, had stomach cramps and other issues.
These are extensions, but the top of my hair was the worst. I lost it quite bad when I was about 4 months into my Manjaro journey. It's not worth having a gallstone attack. Like, it's that bad. It's worse than labour. Like, it's terrible.
But Lucy says there are things she knows now that would have prevented these side effects.
The doctor did tell me the gallstones wasn't directly caused by the Manjaro. It was caused because of the rapid weight loss in such a short space of time. The biggest thing I wish I knew before starting Manjaro is that I need to weight train. You've got to keep up with the water. The water is a massive, massive thing. Antivitamins, I would 100% recommend get your vitamins in you.
The drug company who makes Mounjaro told us patients should consult their doctor to discuss any possible side effects and ensure they're getting genuine medication, which is only used when prescribed by a licensed healthcare professional.
Now, there are some side effects to these jabs, but thankfully, I haven't experienced them. But something I have experienced is the cost. Everyone is talking about it because the cost isn't coming down, the cost is going up.
I've come to Swansea to meet MP Carolyn Harris. She's calling for more people to be able to access these drugs and for the prices to be kept low.
What is this vision before me?
Yeah.
Oh my, let me look at you. Hello. Wow.
Good to see you.
What has happened?
Half the woman I was.
You look so different.
I do. I feel different.
How much have you lost?
9 stone.
In how long?
Just over a year.
Wow.
Carolyn buys hers from a private doctor and has gone from a size 24 to a size 12 in a year.
This was taken the day I went on it.
This?
Yeah. That was International Menopause Day. I had a consultation and I had the jab and I took it that day.
That day your life changed?
It did. I am absolutely convinced that if I hadn't done it, I would have had some kind of health condition by now anyway, without a shadow of a doubt.
I cannot believe, Carolyn, looking at these pictures, it's like I'm looking at a different person.
Yeah, I feel a different person.
They cost money.
Yeah, that is a problem.
MPs are not poorly paid.
No.
I'm paying out to my wage, but there are a lot of people out there who may like to go on these jabs who can't afford it.
And that worries me. I also worry about the people who are on them and since the price increase can't afford to keep it up. And I do definitely worry about the people who should be on them and who can't afford them full stop because it's gone up beyond recognition. I'm glad I'm on the point when I'm coming down because it's going to be less and less and less for me every month. Because mine, I think it's about 450 for the one I'm on now.
Whereas mine, I'm at the point where I'm going up and up and up, and so is the cost. Does the cost of these jabs, to the access to these jabs, is this like a top priority given the state of obesity, or is it like a cosmetic thing?
It's definitely not cosmetic. Definitely not. It'll bring the burden on the NHS down on waiting lists because you'll have less people having heart disease, having diabetes, having strokes.
Specifically at Wales, we know obesity is
huge.
It's a national crisis practically. We are one of the biggest overweight countries in Europe, and yet we're also one of the poorest parts of the UK. So if we're relying on people to pay for this out of their own pocket, as most people are doing right now, this problem ain't going to be tackled.
There are people out there who are desperate for this. And we can convince them that they need to do it. But if they haven't got the wherewithal to do it, then that's problematic.
Tackling obesity is a top priority, says the Minister. So we asked Health Secretary Jeremy Miles for an interview. We didn't get one. Instead, we were sent a statement. The Welsh Government says those with urgent clinical needs can access these drugs on the NHS, but they can't intervene on the prices paid by non-NHS suppliers and manufacturers. We know a lot of people are on these jabs, but how easy are they to come by? Can you, for example, just pop to your GP and ask for one? Let's find out.
Would you like to come through?
Thank you very much.
For weight loss, we wouldn't be allowed to give it to you. You know, we're very happy to have discussions with patients about their weight and, you know, giving them advice on weight loss. But ultimately, we're not allowed then to give them the one thing they want to come and receive from us, which is the injection. So at the minute, it's causing a little angst for us. And we're also seeing patients getting their weight loss injections privately from various clinics around the country. And that's actually causing quite a bit of workload for general practice in itself.
How is that? Because, you know, you can't prescribe it, but yet it's causing you workload. Talk me through that.
So what we see is private clinics are seeing these patients, sometimes remotely, and asking questions of these patients, and then they are prescribing the medication. And then that clinic will write to us and say, if you have any concerns about that patient being prescribed the medication, please get in touch with us. Now, I'm professionally fairly duty-bound to take a look at that patient's records and have a look and just make sure that they should be getting that medication. And in the last week here, for instance, we've seen 70 letters from clinics with individual patients who have been dosed by that clinic.
70 in just 1 week?
In 1 week.
So are we in a place where you as a GP are satisfied in that you can't prescribe it to most people who come and sit here, yet your time is taken up dealing with private firms where people do go? There's something seems amiss there.
I think it's pretty unsatisfactory at the minute, let alone the fact that also, if you want to benefit from this medication, you can only do so if you can afford it.
How would you design the system? How should the system be designed?
In an ideal world, Rob, we'd have a system whereby you could access this via your GP, and the cost of the drug would be borne by the NHS. I'm sure in the end we would see lower levels of things like diabetes, arthritis, even some cancers as a result of having obesity treatment improved.
The Welsh Government says it's aware of the considerable demand for weight management medicines and growing pressure for access through the NHS. They say they're offering a new model of support that considers access across settings.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Back in Cardiff, Wendy is trying to build healthy habits alongside the jabs. Once a week, she comes to this free circuit and nutrition class, run by the Cardiff City Community Foundation. But she's still worried what will happen when she can't afford to continue on the injections.
Fears coming off the jab, definitely weight gain, and then that will impact my fitness levels, my motivation, my mental health. It's a real worry.
Back to square one.
Yeah, and I don't want to be back in that place again. But I do feel as though the Mounjaro is part of that tool. In order for me to have these fitness goals, to have this diet, the Mounjaro, I feel, is part of that.
I'm not going to be on these forever. I'm going to come off them in a few months. What should I do and what should everybody else do when we think, right, what next?
So these injections are a tool to help you lose weight while you make sustainable lifestyle changes. So when you come off the medication, weight regain is very likely because your appetite will be back to normal. But if you've managed to make those lifestyle changes, the weight regain will be minimal compared to somebody who hasn't made many changes while taking the jabs.
So are these skinny jabs a weight loss miracle? Well, it's clear some experts think they are a game changer and could save lives. But they're only a tool, and you have to make the lifestyle changes alongside it, otherwise you risk serious side effects. One thing is clear, we'll be talking about these things for many years to come.